It's the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Tune in. Tune in. Tune in. Tune in.
Yeah, so I just wanted to, if we could get a little bit deeper into when using hard money, like the actual costs that are associated with this. So private money scares me, frankly. I want to do at least a deal or two, like funding it, but I want to make sure that I have the capital. Like I feel like I have a good sense of like where I want to buy and the types of properties and like all of those things, but I don't know how much capital I actually need to have ready before
Mhm.
I pull the trigger.
Okay. Um, so it depends. um, Most lenders right now are giving like 85 to 90% of your purchase price, right? So depending on where you are, take that percentage and apply it to your property. So 85 to 90% of the purchase price, and then most of them are going to charge 2 or 3 points. And points are, other than describing them as like a junk fee, it's really just how like lenders make money for lending, right? Like it's their way of making money. No matter what happens, they've got a couple $1,000s, and so 1 point is 1% of your loan amount. So lenders will charge 2 to 3 points. And then depending on the lender, they're going to have an underwriting fee, which is like $1,800. They're going to have a processing fee, which could vary, which let's say it's $1,000. So it's like 1,800, that's 2,800 there. And then some of them also require you to get an appraisal, and an appraisal is about $800. So in there, and just the outside of points, there's your underwriting, your just administrative fee, and your appraisal. That's about 3,600 on top of your points, and then your down payment.
Got it. And then throughout the course of the loan, like, are you paying each month while you have the hard money, or do you just pay at the beginning and at the end?
There's people out there that will kind of take it all at the end. I have only the lenders I've all worked with require monthly payments.
Okay.
So, and it's interesting because some people, when you're doing a deal, they release draws to you. Most people release draws, like almost everyone does it on draw. So if you have a $30,000 rehab, they're not going to give you $30,000 at one time. They're going to break out that 30,000 into chunks and saying, hey, I want to see so much work done, and then I'm going to release 5,000. I want to see another chunk of work done, then I'll release 7,000. And they increment it out like that. So the monthly payment is based on how much of that 30,000 they've released to you. So you're not paying your monthly interest payment on that whole 30, you're only paying on what they've released. So if you have a larger rehab where it's taking you 2 or 3 months to complete, you're only paying on the portion that's been released. If you have a smaller rehab like the ones I like to do, you get it done in a month, and by the time that monthly payment comes up, you're paying on the whole 30. But you have your whole project done. So it's a give and take, but that's how it is. Most people are receiving monthly payments, and it's based on the amount that they've released.
Okay. You said those monthly payments are interest only payments, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So that's a good question. Yes. A lot of times they're interest only, meaning that your principal balance never goes down, and you pay that principal balance on your exit, either when you refinance, if it's a rental property, you're keeping it, or when you sell on a flip.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
No problem. How do you find private? This is a question that I got privately. How do you find private lenders? What criteria do you use to accept new prospects into your pool of private lenders? How do you find private lenders? This is something that I thought about that I was going to cover. So this is a really good question. I started with people that I knew. One of my first private money lenders was a friend of mine that I went to undergrad with, and she gave me my first private money loan. So I would say start with people you know, and I would even say actually Yeah, she's my first private lender. I'll talk about another source of money, but start with people you know, and then talk about the deals that you're doing. So in the social media world, people see what you're doing. If you give it to people by posting it, they'll see it, right? And one of the things that I've found is real estate is something that is popular and people are drawn to people in real estate. So if you are developing a brand amongst people that you know as someone that is doing real estate transactions, you'll catch people's eye and then just offer it up. So, hey, I'm, looking to work with partners, or if you're interested in being a real estate investor, let me know, and have those conversations. So those are two ways that I've framed it up, right? Is as a private money lender, they are my partners in this deal. Granted, they're silent partners and they're kind of just getting a return, but they're partners. People want to feel like they're part of something. So framing it as a partnership is one good way to kind of find those people. And then giving them or framing it as them being a real estate investor, albeit a passive real estate investor, right? They're not managing a project, they're not swinging any hammers or anything like that, but the money that they're investing is going into real estate. So they're a real estate investor. What goes back to real estate is a hot topic. Real estate is a thing that people are interested in. If you can not even create it, but make the connection to them, for them, that, hey, by doing this, you are a real estate investor, then people like that as well. So in short, I would say how to find people is start creating awareness and a brand for yourself, being someone that's in real estate, and then also promoting the fact that you are open and willing to work with people as outside real estate investors or capital, I call them capital partners, because they're just bringing money to the table. Those are two ways to do that. And then once you start working with people, then they will start telling other people. And it's kind of that, like you throw a rock in a pond and it starts and has that ripple effect. That's exactly how it is with finding private lenders, right? You kind of work with like your friend or someone that you really know, they put some money in, you pay them back, and then they're like, someone's talking about it. Real estate is something that people talk about. And then that friend is like, oh yeah, I invested with Sam and he gave me my money back and this is what happened. And then someone's like, dang, I want to do that. And that it just kind of grows from there. So that's how I found, or how I continue to find private lenders. And even I even have some people that I work with that have invested, are currently invested in deals. So kind of letting people know, again, they're social media friends, so they're people I would hang out with outside of work, but same concept. And my criteria for accepting someone, I don't vet them too much. I kind of let them know the criteria, like, hey, like if you're going to give me this investment, you're not going to see it for a year, right? Like, are you okay? Can you do without this money for a year? And let them make that assumption for themselves. I'm very open with them and saying like, hey, you're not going to see this money for a year. Are you comfortable with that? And let them make that decision themselves. I really don't have an insight into people's financial situation, so I don't screen or anything like that. If they're interested, they can meet my requirements. So I do have a minimum requirement for investors. So you have to be at $5,000 or more to invest in a deal. But if they can meet that requirement, they're comfortable with not seeing that $5,000 for a year, then we can work together.
Are you looking for a community of like-minded individuals and access to experts in real estate?
Yeah.
Are you interested in real estate but need more support and guidance?
You know who it is?
The Black Real Estate Dialogue presents the Real Estate Investing Community. No matter how much or how little real estate experience you have, we've created a community for you because your perspective is important. All right, tell me, where's the number one place where you can do Q&A with experienced guest speakers 2 times per month? How about unlimited access to past guest speakers' recordings? What about a private Slack channel to engage in daily discussion with everybody in the community to share resources and support each other? Head on over to blackrealestatedialogue.com. That's blackrealestatedialogue.com. It's the real estate investing community presented by the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Come join us today.
I would love to hear how you built your out-of-state team, especially for your rehabs. So out-of-state team, trial and error. So when I got started, I Craigslisting, looking for contractors, looking for contractors, and then got a couple bids that way, and to make sure that the numbers were fair. And that's how I started with contractors. The contractors that I use now were referred to me by my realtor that I work with in that market. And I found my realtor in that market just by going on BiggerPockets and looking for a realtor in that area that was like real estate friendly. So I had a discussion with him. He was like, it seemed like we could work together. So that's how I found my realtor. He ended up leaving and connecting me with someone, leaving the area, moving, but he connected me with a realtor, kind of passed me along to someone else. And the current realtor I work with, she referred the 2 contractors that I currently work with. I have an appliance guy, so he does repairs on my appliances and provides me new appliances on my flips, and found him on Craigslist. I was just looking for used appliances, and I found him on Craigslist. Through working with him, I found his prices to be fair, and he's a cool dude. So he's actually someone that's like a friend. Him and I just have conversations now. My HVAC guy, Craigslist, found him on Craigslist, and I found that we work well together again. So, and his pricing is fair. And we've worked together so much over the last 2 or 3 years that now when I need something, if he has like a competing job, he'll kind of pick my job over another job just because he knows that I constantly have work. I have him do new system installs. I have him do repairs. I have him do all my HVAC. And then who else is on the team? Handyman. My handyman that I like to use a lot of the time was referred to me by my appliance guy. So my appliance guy works with a lot of investors. He knows a handyman. He referred the handyman to me. That's how I found my handyman. So I would say, like, as you're building a team, just ask for referrals. The people that you're working with in one aspect know someone in another aspect a lot of the time. So ask for referrals. That's how a lot of what I did, and kind of taking the risk of working with someone off Craigslist, right? They're good people. Craigslist is a place that they market their services. There's been people that I found on Craigslist. I've worked with them once or twice, and it's just not a good fit. So we end our relationship, right? So you will kind of kiss a couple frogs before you find your Prince Charming, so to speak. But, I've kissed the frogs, and, I found the team now that I'm happy with.
Hi everyone, Sam here from the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Make sure to hit that notification bell and that subscribe button, and to visit us at blackrealestatedialogue.com.